You got to get rid of the 10 and move forward with a 2. It's not because the 2 are special, it's just because the 2 are trusting. They may be the most unlikely 2. The 10 may be the guys with wisdom. They may be the guys with acumen. They may be the guys with business background. They may be the guys with strategic planning experience. And the only 2 you're left with is some old guy who's been around for 110 years and some novice who isn't even wet behind his ears. And the 2 of them are saying, I think we can definitely do it. And so you've immediately got a choice. Do I go with a 10 and shut the thing down, or do I go with a 2? Go with a 2 every time. Send the other 10 home. Send them home. You say, if I send them home, they may send me home. Fine, we'll all go home. And then we'll get up in the morning and we'll figure out what we're going to do from there. But we're not going to have the fearful shut the thing down. It's amazing. You read the minute books of church leaderships, and Mr. Rodney Fortescue Smythe wanted to minute his disapproval and his extreme concern over the outlandish Jester Biel, blah, 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 blah. Goodbye, Fortescue Smythe. Thank you. Why were they to go home? They were to go home because they would have a detrimental effect on the battle. Get these guys out of here. We don't meet people in the battle going, I don't think we can do this. Now, that's interesting to me. I think you've picked up on the fact that I think is interesting, and that's why here, this isn't outlandish. This is in accord with the principles that had previously been laid down. So Gideon, here we're going to reduce the numbers. Can you imagine, of course, how that goes? He's looking at the 32,000 saying, I wonder if I've got enough here in light of all these camels. We can't even count the camels, let alone the people. We can't count the humps, let alone the number of people that have been riding on the back of these things. And the Lord says, this is what we're going to do. Ask the folks, say to them, if anybody's fearful or trembling with fear, they can turn back and leave Mount Gilead. Now, the matter-of-fact response here in verse 3b in this sentence is incredible. So 22,000 men left. Can you imagine him? First of all, well, I'm not sure 32,000 is enough. The Lord says, let's just give anybody that wants to leave the chance to leave. So we've got the guy who's told, you're the mighty man. You are God's man. We're going to tear this place apart. Okay, I'm not sure we've got enough. God says, don't worry about enough. Let's try and pare it down. Just ask anybody who wants to go home to go home. So he stands up, and I don't know how he was feeling. We'll find out in heaven. But he says, the word of the Lord is, if any of you are afraid of the prospect, then you should just leave. And he stands and he watches. And 2/3 of the army splits. You might have expected a few of the guys that didn't like him to leave, but this is a mass exodus. I don't want to spiritualize this or anything, but I was talking to a young man yesterday, and he said, I've been there 12 months and I've blown out half the congregation. I said, well, you may have to blow out the other half before you can even get started. It's not unusual in Scotland to have to preach your church empty before you can preach it full. Because you'll never preach it full with these people in there. So they either get on or they get out, but you don't want them halfway. It's either cheerio or welcome, but it's not, we don't know. We want absolute clarity. Are you staying? Stay. Are you going? Get as far away from here as possible. We don't want you all standing around on the outside going, I don't think you should have waited. Just take off, get your stuff and leave.